Good morning, BX Live at Lunch. Oh, I didn't even set myself into the camera. Good morning, it's BX Live at Lunch on another Wednesday, first day of school, and, well, at least for this district, Lexington, they started yesterday, and a couple other districts started on Monday, so all the kids headed back to school, and summer training camp is over, and we are looking forward to continuing to serve you, so we're here a little bit earlier than normal for the past 2 months.
Weird schedule change.
It is a weird schedule change. It's like
everything all at once.
All at once. So today's topic is centered around pseudo-science, common knowledge, home remedies, ideas that may work or may not work, some stuff that you guys brought to us and that we've discussed inside the gym. As always, if you have questions, please feel free to hit us down below. If there's anything going on that you want us to talk about, you can go ahead and let us know about that information in the gym or send us an email. We should be good to go on that. So some of the things we're going to hit today, we're just going to hit 3 ones that we've heard pretty often and quite a while. We've heard pickle juice, the ab electrodes. That one was a big one back in the 90s and early 2000s. And I think they might make
really that long ago?
Maybe a resurgence, but yes, it's a thing.
Crazy,
yeah. And then Epsom salt. So we're going to talk about all 3 of those concepts, which are funny. We may even hit the shake weight and some of that too. But, you know, a lot of those things that you see on the infomercials that you normally...
1995, 3 easy payments.
3 easy payments, 1995. So yeah. All right, pickle juice. That's one that's fairly common around these here parts. Yeah, I did that on purpose. So it has been used in the past that pickle juice, or been said in the past that pickle juice can be used to minimize cramping, stop cramping, or rehydrate the body, much like water or Gatorade or something to that effect, or better than water might do, depending upon the intensity of your session of sweat. So we went on a journey to figure out if this is true. Thankfully, we did not have to put this to an actual test. All we had to do was read other observations and studies. And if you have any questions about those studies or observations, let us know. We will post those or send those to you. We love the conversation. So, pickle juice, myth or reality? Or as Brian would like to say, player please. Is it truth or player please is what Brian
need a soundboard.
Play, please. No, but real. So it's stuck in the middle, in my opinion. It's not so much a myth that it works, because there's been plenty of studies on it that say that there's something that happens to the body when pickle juice is inserted that helps to diminish the effects of cramping. But there's not enough scientific data to say that it helps with hydration or increases the amount of whatever electrolytes are missing that may cause cramping or that discomfort.
It's just one of those weird ones, like they say that it works, but they're kind of mixed on how it works. They don't really know. They're kind of just guessing, it seems like, from what we read. And I'm not a pickle person, so like the hydration thing to me is weird, because isn't it like super salty tasting?
Yes. So the hydration thing, as far as the pickle juice goes, there's sodium, and sodium is one of those nutrients or minerals or elements that your body naturally gets rid of during sweat and other activities. So having sodium replaced in your body, other electrolytes placed in your body, or replaced in your body after your sweat session is usually much more beneficial than just sipping water. Not saying sipping water is not beneficial, it's definitely great for you. And if you have the time, make sure you drink water all day. But if you're outside in a day of South Carolina where it's between 89 and 109 degrees, but you're still called out to play or do whatever sport or activity you're supposed to do, having that extra sport drink should be helpful.
Right, so the way that they kind of posit how it works, and again, this isn't like proven, they haven't proven it, but they propose that the taste of it and the acid in it is actually chemically stimulates a reflex in the back of the throat. And that reflex, they say, has been shown to decrease the activity in the alpha motor neurons, which causes muscle relaxation, which kind of mitigates the cramping effect. They say you don't even have to swallow.
You just swish it around.
Yeah.
So if you just have random pickle juice and you're cramping, and you just toss that pickle juice in, give it a little swish, give it a little spit, you should be good to go. So the next question is whether it's somewhere between fake and real. There is some evidence that suggests that it can be used. We say that that's the primary way in which you should hydrate your body and minimize cramping. The answer to that is no.
Yeah. The other thing they also say is, because some of these that we went down the list and talked about with fads and home remedies are just placebo effect, they did actually say that the research suggests that it does work better than a placebo effect. So it's not one of those things that's just in your head.
Right. So this is, it's not a placebo effect where there's an actual method in which the pickle juice works. We just don't know how to define it or describe it yet. And the back of the throat studies are what the closest theory they've come to. So
one of the great fitness unknowns.
Maybe one day you'd have thought, like in the last 40 to 50 years, that fitness has been studied at this level, that there'd be some other form of information. But one of our resident scientists, Shane Barlow, gives us a little statement. He says, those studies are difficult to design. We don't know what actually causes cramp, so it's difficult to model it with the physiological side of it. So that makes sense, and Shane is one that we would definitely give credit to in knowing and understanding what research is supposed to look like. And that makes sense, because we don't know what causes cramp specifically. So I'm trying to find a full reason or understanding what actually would be the cause of pickle juice to work is not necessarily something we can find without a cause. Right now, essentially, just trying to, this looks like it works. Make sure you stay hydrated, make sure you eat well, sleep well, rest well. Cramps seem to be minimized when you do all those things well.
Yeah, if it works for you, keep doing it.
Mm-hmm. And the other one are ab electrodes. You know those things that you buy off the infomercials where they zap you, and
so this to me is wild because I feel like, but you said it started what, in like the early 2000s? So I think there's been a recent resurgence if it did. But to me, it's like the progression of people really don't want to put in the work to get that six-pack. So it went to 10-minute abs. You only have to do this for 10 minutes. And then it went from 10-minute abs to you don't even have to do anything.
You just put this on your stomach. Here you go. Well, technically, I actually think it's a little bit before that. So there is, if you go to the physical therapist, many of you have been to a physical therapist and you've seen the Easton machine. I think a lot of it stems from the concept of the electrical stimulation machine. So what happens when you put the e-stim on, you find a spot where the electricity is sent from pad to pad, and within that process, the muscles start to tighten and tense. So if you extrapolate that out to bigger muscle groups, not just muscle groups that need immediate healing, you would say it's causing enough damage to bring blood flow that would allow the muscle to grow. Now, there's not a lot of research that says you can do that instead of fitness. So no, we would not suggest you getting the...
Don't just lay in bed with electrodes on every muscle.
And expect it to really work, no. And then I think probably before the 90s and the 80s, there was some random study. So there's an actual setting on the e-stim machine called Rushton, where it's like a serious pound of electricity that goes in, and normally that causes the biggest muscle contractions. And I believe there was a study back, well, you know, if you can't, a lot of times you can say there's a Soviet study, but there was the Russian setting usually causes the muscles to contract a little bit harder than just a regular smooth flowing of electricity. So I think a lot of it came from base level science of rehab. And it just doesn't have as big of an effect as it does on rehab. It makes sense in rehab because the e-stim, many of you even have home TENS units, same idea, but it doesn't work on the grand scale. On the micro scale, it helps to foster an environment in the body that can be suitable for the body to heal in certain areas.
Right. Makes sense in that regard. In the regard of just using it to get more tone and stuff, it doesn't really make sense to me. Because you're not building any mind-muscle connection. You're not like building how to use your body at the same time.
You're just flexing and contracting it. Yep. So that's one. So if you need the ab electrodes to wear the belt around your body, no, it does not work. That's a no. So in the fact or fiction version of ab electrodes or the stomach belts that have the electricity flowing through them, that's a waste of your time.
It is a big play a please.
Yeah, please. And then the other one is Epsom salt.
We got some fire on this one.
We did. We hit this last week, which kind of gave us the motivation to have this discussion today. But Epsom salt being used as a muscle healer or something, Epsom salt itself is not the change agent of the bath that you're taking. Now, does Epsom salt have some effect on the body? Yes, and maybe that the minerals that Epsom salt is made of sink into the body, and they may prepare the body for healing a little bit better. But most of the body's reaction to the Epsom salt bath is usually the temperature of the bath and the mentality that you're going in there to relax and set your body right and give your body something refreshing to move forward from. Oftentimes now they actually put scents or essential oils or something else in there that gives you that feeling of invigoration or something to that effect.
Now, with that being said, the mind is a powerful place. So if you think that it's doing something for you,
yes,
it's not necessarily a bad thing to do it.
So we're going to put this one in the same level of in between with the pickle juice.
Yep.
So they're not bad things to do. They're not going to hurt you in any way. And if they have the power to help you, definitely do them. But there's not a lot of studies that suggest that they have a powerful effect on your rehabilitation. So definitely take some time, and if you use it, don't stop using it.
Yeah, if you swear by it, just keep going.
Yeah,
it's not
keep on
do
moving.
any
Keep
harm
on
to you.
moving. If you don't use it, it's not the end-all be-all of what the next step of exercise physiology is going to call for. We're not calling on pickle juice and Epsom salt, but they're definitely really good home remedies. Maybe a little bit cheaper, than going out and getting PT or something initially, or I would say cheaper than a foam roller, but these days foam rollers are super cheap, and even the muscle machines are cheap. So I'll tell you what, use the handheld gun massager, some pickle juice, and Epsom salt. Boom, you got it. Like, that's the best of all three worlds. That's it right there. No, because someone's going to quote me on that. You don't have to, again, not the end all be all.
You said if I did all three of these things, I'd be massive, Jason.
Got you, right? So if you did the ab electrodes, and your muscles broke down enough, then you could drink the pickle juice to make sure they didn't cramp during the ab electrodes. Sit in the
Just swish it around. You
don't have to drink it. Swish it around and spit it out while you're sitting in the Epsom salt bath, relaxing to make sure your muscles have enough relaxation to grow. And then bada boom, bada bing, you massage it out. Don't do that for it, unless you have all the things, and that's something you already do. So that was cool. If you have any other ideas that you guys would like to pass by us, we love answering your questions. So please hit us up in the gym. Find our email right above us. Oh, that's Allie. I'm right there. Boom. And then Zach. Boom. Right there. So you can still email Allie or tag Allie and let her know you miss her, because she loves to hear from you guys. And yeah, she seems to be doing well. She said it's new to her, but going well.
Hashtag Team Allie.
Hashtag Team Allie. And if you get a chance to go watch, her first game is August 25th at home at Columbia International University. I think it's at 7 p.m. So yeah, go watch those Rams play. Good stuff. We thank you guys for watching this week's Live at Lunch. Tune in next week as we discuss, we're not sure yet. We'll just answer your questions as they come. It is a surprise. Thank you guys again for watching Live at Lunch.
See y'all.